for today's back day, I'm not exactly certain. I'm not 100% certain what's going to go down. I know I'm going to be pumped. I know I'm going to hit a badass lat spread at the end of it. But in between, a little bit of a mystery. I got to see how I feel. The last couple of back days, I feel like, what did I do? What did I do the last back day? The last back day was at Planet Fitness. I did rows and pull downs, and that was basically all. No, I remember now. I did seated rows, wide grip-ish pull downs, and then I finished with a half row, half pull down combo on the incline bench. Okay, yeah, so now I remember. So how am I going to change it up going forward? I'll see. If I come in and I warm up, I'm going to get my shoulders ready and I do some kind of cable rows and just like, you know, warm up base stuff on the regular cable stack, and I feel like we're going to be good doing the exact same thing. And I think seated rows are going to be a perfect start, and then pull downs could be next, and then finish with that same half pullover, half row. Well, then that's cool too, you know. But I think it's a good habit to try to change it up. Sometimes even just for the sake of changing it up, right? The point is really, don't do the same workout twice in a row, like in this idea, because then every workout's different. You're coming in, you're giving yourself a different stimulus. But, you know, don't forget, you can change up a lot of factors. You know, like with this back day, this would actually be kind of, it'd be kind of silly to have it as dice, but maybe like an app could be kind of cool. Like imagine having something where, I mean, think, what can you change in a set? You know, I can do, for back at least, I can do a row, I can do a pull down, I can do a pullover. So that's 3 different movements. So that's 3 variables I can change. And then I can do a heavy set, a lighter squeezing set, a pause rep set, and by pause reps I mean, actually, what do I mean? There's a couple different ways of doing that. I could do like 5 reps, wait 10 seconds, and then do another 5. Or I could do failure, wait like 20 seconds, and then do another 5. I mean, so that's already another 3. And then I could add a superset on top of that of maybe doing, okay, heavy row combined with light pull down, and then do kind of a back and forth type situation. Like there's so many different ways to change it up. That's the only thing that I think happens to guys when they say, I'm getting really bored with my split, I'm getting really bored with my training, it feels very repetitive. I think the problem is you might just be doing the same thing over and over again. And that's not any fault of, you know, their own, because that's kind of how we're conditioned to think. If something worked once, it's going to work again. We basically evolved that way, you know. If you way back when, you know, we somehow figured out how to turn a stick into a spear, and then by some miracle you figure out how to get a fish with it, you're probably just going to keep doing it the same way you were doing before, and then if it keeps working, just keep on doing it, you know. But this is where we've got a higher level of thinking. We can now understand sometimes doing things in different ways is better, because the doing things in different ways is the same way to do it, if you feel what I'm saying. So even though every time you do it differently, the fact that every time you do it differently is the same. I know I'm kind of losing my train of thought. Like, I didn't lose my train of thought, but it just came out a little funky. But all that's to say is I'm going to warm up, get my shoulders loose, make sure my biceps get a little warm, and my forearms, because they're going to come into play a little bit during the movements. As much as I try to avoid it, you're always going to get that secondary activation. And if I don't warm up my biceps and my forearms at least a little bit, like imagine if I really pulled my forearm or really pulled my bicep doing a pull down because I went a little bit too heavy in the pull down and I didn't warm up my accessory muscles. Like I didn't even hurt myself doing the intended muscle. I just got hurt because I didn't warm it up. You know, like that would just freaking suck. So a good rule of thumb, this will be my last little point before we get started, is everything that's going to be involved in a body part, in a lift, just give it a little something. You know, before chest, I'm doing rotator cuff activations. I'm doing some front raises for a little front delt. I'm doing a little bit of rear delt stuff. I'm doing some cable rows. Not heavy, I'm just like doing a few reps each way to get everything moving. I'm doing some cross body presses. I'm doing some forearm curls. Like everything that I know is going to be involved, I want to make sure is in working order, right? It's like I'm a pilot. We're doing a flight check, right? Yep, rotator cuff, green. Wrist, strong. Forearm, ooh, forearm's a little tender. All right, that's not a deal breaker, but let's adjust accordingly. You know, things like that. So probably the most unfortunate part about that checklist is you only value it once you've hurt yourself to the point that it actually screws up your lifts. You know, it's like you got to touch the stove to understand that it's hot, and then you respect it, you know. So lesson, I'd say the best thing somebody could do is learn from anybody else's mistakes. And if you've been watching for a while, you know, you've seen me hurt my freaking chest. I've like had forearm, I've had just all sorts of random things over these last couple of years. A good takeaway from that is, all right, Sam, that was pretty stupid. Don't do that. I'm not going to do that, right? I think that's not a bad takeaway for sure. Or if anybody, you know, has a similar type kind of situation you can look at. But yeah, nothing else to say. Let's get this back day started. Let's just freaking get in there. All right, let's not get too wild. Let's start with some closer grip straight bar pull downs. Yeah. Yeah. See. Okay. Ooh. A few more of those. Nothing crazy. Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Two. Okay. Oh. Let me think. I'm not sure what's next. Potentially a row. This row will be good next. Nothing too crazy heft-wise, but just about as heavy as I need. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Two. Oh, one more. One more, then I think a pull down's in order. Or a pullover, rather. Yeah, let's get a pullover and we'll see if there's any room for some more blood flow into these lats. But we're almost done. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I'll point out the specifics of this during the pose down, but what I'm trying to feel with this single arm pullover, either grab the handle by the nub or a rope or something, really anything, is I'm trying to feel my lats squeeze and flex all the way down to the bottom. So basically, you know, up here stretch position, and as I come down lower and lower and lower, well, I can't move my arm. I can't contract it that far back. So as I get to the bottom of the range of motion, there's no more movement here. It's a little bit of just like an extra hunch. And even now, like I can reach around and feel where my lat inserts and just feel it tighten all the way down. You know, don't be fooled. Just because your lats are way up here, they're going all the way down low. Like I'm talking barely above my waist is where I feel the bottom of the muscle that's actually being, you know, tense and flexed. So back and forth, 5 reps each, lightish. If you go too heavy, you won't really be able to squeeze it. And this could be the finisher. Oh, we'll see. If I feel like one more would be good, I'll just do that. You know, I'm not picky. Down. Yeah, that's all. That's freaking all. Let's go see what we're looking. There we go. All right, finally put this mirror up in here. This is kind of cool. I think I got a brand spanking new little pose down spot. I just like taped it up with like some paracord. But you know what, who cares? If it works, it freaking works. So let's, without any further ado, let's see how back is looking. And pumped up, I may have gotten a little bit of a sneak peek into some of this, but I haven't actually hit any full-on poses yet. So let me, how about I make sure we're in focus and then we can really get after it. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. All right. Holy shit. All right, I gotta hit one more of those Christmas trees, but pumped too. That's the most lat grain I've ever seen for me, which is fucking crazy. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, I can leave this pump knowing, let's just say knowing I'm getting leaner for sure. And I mean, midsection, like these real low lines, like here's typical. I can see this even bulked. But these little ones, no man, don't be fooled. Those aren't just ribs. That's like as low as these abs are reaching around over, and you don't see that a ton. That is not like just regular ass gym activity. Oh man, nah, this is freaking sweet. Let me do let's see how we're looking from the front. I'm kind of gassing myself out from even just hitting those. But no, that I'm excited to see what that looks like on the computer when I get back. But I'm gonna go ahead and get some cardio done, and then, man, I'll see you in the freaking car. All right, come on. Is that a little tricep feathering? Not a lot, but just a little. Just a little. This is freaking crazy. Let's get in the car. We got some stuff to discuss. And right about now, 48 days out from competition. I'd say that last week, from let's just say March 1st to March 6th, which is show day, nothing's gonna change. There is no getting leaner. There is no getting bigger. By the time it's March, it's over. Hopefully in a very good way. But yeah, by the time March comes around, there will be no more improvements. There will only be kind of just like specific adjustments for the peak week, you know. So I'm going to take that week-ish, really up my water intake so that the day before the show, I can kind of siphon out some extra water. Because if I drink 3 gallons a day for a week straight, I think the gist is it gets your whatever system deals with flowing fluids out of your body into a groove of like, all right, man, we're on 3 gallons a day. That's what we're used to. So then, you know, the last day or, you know, however long out before, I'll know when to time it by then. By stopping the water intake, I'm still in this mode of like, okay, flush water, but I'm not drinking it now, you know, for a period of time. So I'm gonna really pull out a lot of water, hopefully a lot of fluids that are in this subcutaneous layer, so that's above the muscle but below the skin. So by doing that, that's essentially kind of like a wringing out of the sponge of, you know, my build. And then, you know, I'm gonna kind of eat into the show too. I'm not gonna have to like really fast and sweat out to make weight like last time. When I bring that water back in, combined with some carbs, combined with some electrolytes, most of it, or if I do it well, is all gonna get siphoned intramuscular. So I'm gonna be big and freaking carved up and like muscularly hydrated. So all my muscle cells are gonna be a bit more swollen and large, but the subcutaneous fat under skin above muscle layer will still be kind of dry, because it's not like when you're really dehydrated, your body isn't saying, oh my God, we need fluids in our subcutaneous fat layer. No, your body's saying we need fluids in our muscle cells and like the cells that function our freaking body. That's where we need the fluids to go, you know. So that's kind of the game of that hydration. And you know, some of these guys, they're going to get into like diuretics where it's essentially, I mean, just I don't even know, like I could not name a diuretic. I don't know, because it's just freaking weird. Like my take has always been pretty strong, just from listening to Elite Priest on how he talked about prepping, is if you're already peeled, if you get in really good shape, you don't have to go crazy in a peak week. You don't have to do anything weird. You know, pull your water a little bit, carb up, you're good. You know, so that's kind of my approach there. Some guys are going to take that and think, oh man, you're missing out. You should be doing a ton of diuretics or something. And I'm like, that's not the game plan, you know. But I'll keep you updated. That's peak week discussion. I don't have to worry about that right now. I just got to worry about doing my cardio, sticking to my calories, and then making sure that I'm happy in the process so I don't feel like I get burnt out. And I really do not. I'm feeling for 7 weeks out, compared to 7 weeks out last year, which, yeah, now I can technically say last year because it's 2026 now. Dude, I feel like I don't know, I got to go back and maybe, like, I've never really go back and listen to myself talk like this, at least in the videos or anything. But if I went back, or if you go watch like a January video, I don't think the energy's there as much. You know, I think I was feeling much. I really had to like crank it, you know. But since I started this prep and gave myself like basically an extra month and a half, slow and smooth has been working out very well. And I think this back day obviously was like really good lighting, so I'm cheating the system a little bit. What's the word? An adage to that? I don't think that's right. Either way, whatever. It's making me feel pretty good, you know, at least confident in myself. So yeah, plan now. Got to go run on some errands, pick some freaking stuff up, go home, get some food in my system, edit this thing together, and then go play with the cats, man. Chill. My basement is actually finished now. It's got like actual LVP floor, and like we painted the walls, so it's not like a dungeon. So my desk setup is I need a new desk. If you know a website that has a really cool corner desk, like big, like a kitchen counter, like 4 feet deep on both sides, that would be cool, because I've been rocking just a plastic folding table this whole time, and it's fine. It certainly does the job, but I think I'd like something a little more sturdy. My desk back in my when I lived in my parents' house was, I just went to Home Depot and I got this like 4x6 board, and then some like metal pipe hardware as the legs of the desk, and it was actually pretty solid. I never cared to like stain it or anything, but maybe I should just do that, and then I'd have it the exact dimensions I want, and it would be kind of a fun little project. I'll keep you updated. I'll keep you updated on the desk game. But if you have any elite ball knowledge, or I guess the right word would be elite desk knowledge, I'd love to hear it. I would most certainly love to freaking hear it. A little bit crazy with the lights today. Sometimes it's just fun for me to make it look like a studio in there when I'm lifting. We'll see. I just ordered a bunch of new ones where it's like beam lights instead of the spotlights. So I'll see if that looks a little bit cooler. But you know, if not, Amazon's cool because the return policy is like sweet. Sometimes it's a little bit of a chore to repack everything, but I mean, I don't know how much stuff I've bought and then returned just because it didn't actually work. So either way, plan for tomorrow with arms. Get a crazy pump. Hopefully look crazy in the process. But the actual lift itself, I'm going to have to see. I'm going to have to actually wake up, get to the gym, loosen up, and decide what's going to feel good. Last arm day, very basic, very simple. Just some supersets of rope extensions and cable curls of a few varieties. But maybe I'm going to wake up, warm up, and then say, you know what, today's going to be a dumbbell day. Today's going to be a free weight arm day. I guess we'll just have to see tomorrow. But yeah, no more talking. I'll see you for that.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.